Welcome back to another episode of Decoded, where we dive into real-world strategies, stories, and skills that help you thrive in today's fast-moving tech landscape. In this episode, we're talking about something that every tech professional, no matter whether you're just starting out, changing careers, or leading teams, needs to think about: building your personal brand. And not just any personal brand, but the one that cuts through all the noise in a world where AI, automation, and global competition are transforming how we get noticed and get opportunities. Joining me today is Daniel Erazo, a tech expert, mentor, and educator who's helped countless students launch successful tech careers. Daniel has built a personal brand that stands out not because it's flashy, but because it's authentic, strategic, and adaptable to the times. And today, he is sharing exactly how you can do the same, including some unconventional, outside of the box tactics he's used to make an impact and get noticed. So, whether you want to land your first tech role, pivot to a new specialty, or position yourself as a thought leader, you need to stick around because this conversation is packed with insights you can put into action right away. So, Daniel, welcome.
Hey Rita, thank you for having me here in the podcast. I'm very excited about this.
Nice, thank you. So, Daniel, before we dive in, could you give our listeners a quick overview of your journey in tech and your personal branding and how that personal branding has played a role in getting you where you are today?
Sure. Well, yeah, I'm Daniel. I'm from Ecuador. I finished in 2022. It's been 3 years now. The time passed very fast. I'm an IT engineer, and technically, I just started in the tech industry because I actually didn't know what to do with my life when I finished school. I wanted to do a lot of things. I wanted to be an architect, a graphic designer. But then I realized that for most of my time in my childhood, I really had the chance to play with a lot of computers, right? To go to the internet, watch a lot of videos about tech, reviews, those things. And then I thought, hey, maybe a career in tech could be a good idea. So I studied the IT engineering degree in college back in 2018. In that career, I learned a lot about technology. One of those things was coding. I remember the first language that I learned was C. Well, C++, which is a very difficult language to learn at the beginning, to be honest. But at least I learned the foundations and the basics of software development. With the time, I keep learning about software because actually initially I didn't wanted to have a career in the software side of the industry. I really enjoy the cybersecurity side of the industry because my career was very focused on cybersecurity, networking and databases. But almost at the end of my career, let's say 2021 and 2022, I realized that I really enjoy software and programming, and especially Python, because I learned Python by myself. I already had the foundations of coding with C and Java, and then I found Python very easy to learn. And then I also learned about artificial intelligence. I started to develop my final project about artificial intelligence. And at the end, I said, okay, I really want to do this with my life. I really want to dig into the software development side of the industry. Yeah, and then also at the same time, at the beginning of 2021, I started to make videos about tech. A fun fact about me is that I started to make videos for the internet back in, I don't know, 2013, because I was a kid that really into YouTube. I watched a lot of YouTube videos about gameplays, video games, reviews of technology. I also wanted to do that. So I used a camera. I think I remember I had a cell phone, very old, but at least had a camera. So I used the camera to record myself speaking about anything. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I started to record videos back in that time. In 2016, I opened my YouTube channel, which is the current YouTube channel that I have right now. But I started to upload videos about the same theme, gameplays, video blogs, random funny things. But it wasn't until 2021 that I thought, hey, what if I upload videos about Python? Because I already know something about that language. Let's do that. I didn't start in my YouTube channel. I started in TikTok, which is a funny part that I also can explain a little bit later. But I started to upload short videos about Python on TikTok. And at some point, those videos exploded. And then I basically did the same thing, but in YouTube with longer videos. And well, from then I started to have subscribers, comments, likes, that engagement that is pretty fun. And yeah, from there I started to build my personal brand in different ways. And honestly, I think the personal brand has played a very key role in the position that I'm right now. Because I don't know if it was by my personal branding maybe I wouldn't have the same opportunities that I have right now. I doubt it a little bit. Maybe yes, but I'm not sure. But I'm very glad that that thing has played a very key role in my life. And I can talk about that a little bit later if you want. But yeah, in summary, I can tell you.
Nice. So you mentioned actually to me just before this conversation about some opportunities that came about for you recently, particularly because of your personal brand. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I told you one opportunity, but there are another opportunity. So in total, there are two opportunities that recently came out. The first one, I'm pretty glad about that because it has to do with a company that is based here in Latin America, in Colombia. It's a learning platform that I believe is the most popular and famous here in the region, which is called Platzi. And I knew this company in 2020 or 2019 when I started to focus mainly on software development. And I think, wow, these courses are amazing. The teachers are amazing. The content, everything. I'm learning a lot, not only about technology, but also about English, finance, marketing, those things. And when I started to make videos about technology as well, I thought, that would be good to have a course in this platform, to be a teacher there. That would be awesome. And then 1 month ago, I saw an opportunity because one person in LinkedIn posted a job offer or a position for teachers that would like to make courses in this platform about different topics. And I thought, it would be good to apply. I'm gonna do it. So I filled the form. One thing that you have to submit was a demo class. And honestly, at that moment, I didn't record a demo class. Actually, I just pick a piece of video of one of my videos on YouTube and I submit that. And the time passed. Then some days after that, this person reached out to me on LinkedIn, and she told me that if I would like to set an appointment to have a conversation, right, like an interview. This was when I was on my last vacation, I think 3 weeks ago, and yeah, let's have a meeting. And we have a meeting the next day, and yeah, basically this interview with this person, I talk about my experience. I'm very focused on my YouTube channel and my personal brand and all the content I have made so far. And then, yeah, the interview was the time passed. And then she told me that they would like to have a demo class with another person. And actually, this was this last Friday. So, yeah, I prepared a demo class of 5 minutes about a topic. Actually, it was a topic that was a little bit different from the one I thought the course. This is about linear algebra applied in machine learning. So I prepared a class about that, 5 minutes. And then Friday, we had a meeting. I had a live class. For, I think it was like 8 minutes of class. And I think I did it well because they told me that, yeah, it was pretty good. They really learned about algebra and those things. And they told me, hey, when you can start? Could you start this the week of the 22nd? And I thought, wow, so I'm gonna make a course in this platform, really? And he told me yes. So yeah, this 22nd, I'm gonna travel to Colombia. It was pretty fun because it's the first time they're going to travel to Colombia. Well, technically the second time, but the first time I only traveled to New City here in Colombia, which is with Ecuador. But this time I'm going to travel to Bogota, which is the capital of Colombia, and I'm going to make this course for 1 week. So it's pretty amazing because, yeah, like I said, this company, I think it's very special for me and for a lot of Latin Americans because we really learn a lot of things in there. So yeah, I think, and it was thanks to my YouTube channel, right? Because without those skills, communication, teaching skills, I think I wouldn't have that opportunity. And the second opportunity that I had recently, this is here in my country. Basically, I'm gonna be the host of a workshop, a live workshop in my university. It's gonna be an event about Amazon Web Services plus AI. So yeah, basically, the workshop is about the last video or the last project that I did in my YouTube channel, a little bit more complex. But yeah, it's the first time that I'm gonna have this workshop live in public, in person about an technology and event that it seems pretty fun, especially because here in my country, in Ecuador, we are starting to make more and more tech events, which is not pretty common, to be honest. It's even more common in Mexico or Colombia or Argentina. But here in Ecuador, I'm very glad that we are starting to make more events about technology, and that is pretty awesome. So yeah, basically those are my two opportunities that I'm gonna have this month, and then the other one is gonna be the next month in October.
That is really cool, and that just shows the importance of don't being afraid to get out there and put your work out there. When you do what you like, especially, probably really translates. So that's why you're getting noticed in a channel. So if you had to break it down from your perspective, What are the essential ingredients of a great personal brand and how to build it?
That's a very good question. I think there are different ingredients. It will depend on maybe the person, the industry. But I would have to break it down. I would put two main ingredients. The first one is consistency. I think being consistent is pretty important, not only in personal branding, but pretty much in all the fields of your life. So if you're very consistent with the work that you're doing, you are going to have probably a very good personal branding because there is a lot of people that is, yeah, they start the personal branding, they started to make content, could be a video, a post, an image, anything. But with the time, they realize that because they don't have the engagement and they expected, they just quit, right? But I don't think that is very good because you have to be consistent with everything. And also, if you're consistent, you also showcase your essential skills that are very important in the professional field of your life, right? So I think consistency is a very key and a very good ingredient for personal brand. The second thing is to find a niche that you're very, very passionate about. Right? It could be technology, but inside technology, you can also find another niche. It could be software development, but in software development, you can also find another field. It could be AI, whatever, right? And the same thing with the other industries or the other things. You have to find a niche that you really care about, you really enjoyed, you also have the experience and the knowledge to share something to the world. I think if you find that, and plus the consistency, of course, you're going to be able to build a very good personal brand because the other people are going to start to see that, hey, this person is very knowledgeable about this topic and also is very consistent. I see every video every week or every day and I'm learning a lot. So that is perfect. I'm going to follow this person. And yeah, well, with the time, you're going to have different opportunities. So yeah, I think for me, those two are very important, consistency and find a niche that you are very passionate about.
Okay, so going on into consistency a bit deeper, how long did it take you until your channel actually take off from when you started posting?
It took me a lot of time, to be honest. Maybe because I started in the wrong way. Because, like I said, technically I started my YouTube channel in 2016, and I started to post videos that everyone also posted. Gameplays about video games, video blogs, uh, the same thing that other kind of content creators they did at that time. Because yeah, it seemed like when you're younger, you really want to be like the other people, right? You want to be famous like this YouTuber or this streamer, and you want to do the same that they do. But that is not a very good idea, because yeah, everyone is doing the same. So why the other people they would like to see you instead of the other one that is even more famous? So for that reason, I changed kind of my content to something that I really care about, I really enjoyed, and that was tech, right? Specifically Python development or Python coding. And at that time, like I said, I started on TikTok initially. It was on YouTube because on TikTok, it was pretty famous, especially when the pandemic started in 2020. So TikTok kind of blew up and all the users on internet started to basically consume TikTok. And at that time, I had that conception that TikTok was about just funny videos, people singing or dancing, whatever. I didn't put a lot of, but then one day when scrolling on the TikTok videos, I saw a video that was actually pretty useful. It was a person that I think was talking about something, I don't remember it was history or science or technology, but I thought, hey, people making video and teaching other people in 30 seconds, 1 minute, that is awesome. Even though maybe I won't remember that thing the next day, at least I use my time in a very good way, those 30 seconds or 1 minute. So I thought, what if I do the same? What if I started to record videos about Python? So I started to create this mini course about Python in 30 seconds or 1 minute. And I started to upload different videos about that mini course from the basics to something more advanced. It also wasn't very good. I started to have some hand views, some comments, likes. It was different from the other content that I also did because, yeah, I also did random content on TikTok before that. But then one time I saw a video as well about a person that developed a virtual assistant using Python. And I also developed that project alongside the person. And it was pretty fun, was pretty easy to develop as well, and was pretty powerful to have like a virtual assistant like an Alexa or a Siri, but using just some Python code. So I just did the same, but in TikTok. a little short video showcasing that project. Was like, I think, 40 seconds or 1 minute. And with the time, that video started to have thousands of views, then hundreds of thousands of views, some comments, likes, a lot of engagement. And I thought, wow, that is pretty amazing. And also, the second video that I did about that project was a tutorial about how to do it. The second video was even more famous than the first one. So in the second video, I teach how to do it, right, in 1 minute. So I thought, what if I do the same video but in my YouTube channel with more detail, more time? And suddenly all the traffic from TikTok was to YouTube, my YouTube channel. And I went from, I don't know, I think at that time I had 100 subscribers with all the other videos that I did. But in maybe 1 week, all of a sudden I had 1,000 subscribers. And I was, wow, that is amazing.
Wow.
From 2016 to 2020, that was 4 years. I just had 100 subscribers. And then suddenly from the end of 2020 to I think it was March, May of 2021, in maybe 5 months, I went to 1,000 subscribers. But those 900 subscribers, I had them in 1 week. It was amazing. So I thought, yeah, I have to keep doing this with more content, more advanced, more useful for other people. So yeah, that was the time that it took me to kind of have my YouTube channel and also my other networks like TikTok. But yeah, that was again because I found something that I really care about and I really enjoyed and I really think is useful for other people, right? Instead of just copy the same content that other people did. So yeah.
That is an incredible story. Wow, how it all blew up. That I'm so happy for you. It shows very good thinking outside of the box and trying to kind of see how you can adapt to the world and to the trends and everything and learn from others, but you
Yeah.
apply it in a very specific way. So you started as Python, and now do you still do just Python kind of focus, or what is your focus now?
Technically, yes. But basically, as you said, just to keep the trends and also the things that I like, and that is artificial intelligence. So right now, my content is focused especially on artificial intelligence, using Python frameworks, technologies, but artificial intelligence. At some time, I started to make videos about other technologies or other topics. Like, for example, actually, one video that I did, I remember, was how to find your first job as a software developer. And yeah, I took my experience because at that time I already had my first job, which was an internship. But I took the experience and all the things that I did to do that, and I put it in the video. Um, it was for me it was a very good video, but for some reason I didn't have a lot of views compared to the Python tutorials. But yeah, also sometimes I try to do a little bit more different content, but also in the same field of technology. So yeah.
Nice. And can you think of any other outside of the box things that you've done throughout this whole process that was either successful or not successful, but you still experimented with?
Sure. Well, all the things that I have done, they had to do with the content that I basically do because yeah, I really like to make content, especially videos. Yeah, could be because of my passion back in 2013 when I started to watch YouTube channels. At some point, I also had a podcast where I have different people that they talk about their own experience from they just started to learn about a specific topic and then how basically it's very similar to this podcast actually how all their journey took them to the moment that they are right now, right? It was good. I learned a lot about different stories, but it didn't have kind of the same engagement that I had with my regular videos. So I just leave it like it is, but also it was a very good experience. Also, at some point, I started to make kind of challenges, also about coding, especially on TikTok. I had these little videos about, hey, if you solve this Python problem or this coding problem, you can put the solution in the chat and maybe you are gonna win something. Actually, that worked quite well, to be honest. I made some videos about that same topic. I don't remember why I didn't continue, maybe because at some point I had to take care of other things. But yeah, basically, I just keep making different content that I think is going to work. Yeah, some content don't work, the other, yes. But the thing is just to reinvent yourself and don't just do the same things that you have done because they work, they have worked in a lot of time. But I think it's also very good to do something different, right? And I think that is very good because at some point you're going to find something that also works. And it's going to be, and also that could take you to different opportunities, maybe opportunities, connections, because you're doing something different. You're moving yourself, right? And I think that is something that we have to do pretty much everyone and always. So, yeah.
No, exactly. Look, if you had made that move of putting that TikTok video up, you would not be where you are. So, exactly, experimenting. That's
Yeah.
cool. And so, apart from TikTok and YouTube, do you use any other platforms at all to help drive your personal brand?
Yeah. Regarding video, I also use Twitch, which is, to make streams. I actually started to use Twitch with content about technology when I kind of took my mini course of Python, and I do it again, but in a longer format in Twitch. Also, I think that was pretty good as well because I remember when I created my Twitch account, I just had like 5 followers, for example. And thanks to that course, I went to, I think it was like a little bit more than 100 followers. But yeah, the thing with Twitch and with streams is since this is live, you have to spend a lot of time of your day or your week making that content live, right? So it could be a little difficult. It will depend if also you have other activities to do. But the other platform, and this is different from video because you can also post text and things, is LinkedIn. I started to be more active on LinkedIn. I think it was like 1 year ago. I started to post my videos as well there, to post my thoughts, my experiences, those things. And yeah, I think that also had worked quite well for me. Some followers, some engagement, especially when I joined Coding Temple, because yeah, I started to have some students, connections with those students, and the students they watch my content, the things that I did. And they actually have reached out to me on personal messages and told me, hey, I have watched this content. It's very cool. That is awesome. And I said, thank you. That is great. Because, yeah, LinkedIn, the good thing about LinkedIn is that you can make connections with a lot of professionals, potential employers, different people. So you can showcase your abilities, your projects, whatever you are passionate about, and you can have an impact on those people, right? And they can start thinking, hey, I know this person here on LinkedIn. This person is very good at what the person do. So yeah, I'm gonna follow this person. And probably in the future, why not? I'm gonna have an opportunity to connect and maybe do something, right? So I think that is a good thing about LinkedIn. It's very easy to find connections with professionals and with potential employers and opportunities. So yeah.
Nice. And now, obviously, AI, that's another very hot topic for everyone now. And a lot of people who are trying to build their personal brands, they use a lot of AI to spin up content very quickly, lots of it. So, how can tech professionals, in a good way, use AI, in your opinion, to boost their brand, to make everything faster and be able to do more, but without losing authenticity?
Sure. Yeah, AI is a very hot topic right now. And we have a lot of AI tools. Like every day we have a new tool. And it will depend of the thing that you want to do in your personal brand. If you want to share your knowledge in video, text, images, anything, you can use different tools. But of course, you can use those tools to be more efficient, to automate your work. For example, if you want to make a video and you're very lazy doing scripts, you can use an AI tool and develop kind of the first draft of the script based on the topic that you want to do. That would be very authentic, right? But at least it will help you to kind of have that starting point of your script or the topic. You just have to change it based on what you want to communicate. But the thing is to use this thing just as the starting point, not as the final version of the script, right? But yeah, it will save you a lot of time. Then, well, the same thing for if you want to make some posts on LinkedIn, for example, or any other social network on Twitter. You can also use different AI tools to do the same, of course, to generate the content. But again, don't just copy and paste the thing. You have to use it as the boilerplate or the starting point for your final version of that content, right? Because at the end of the day, yeah, we have a lot of AI tools, and that is awesome. We can automate the job. But when you want to develop your personal brand, like the name suggests, it's personal, right? It's from yourself. It's you. You want to communicate and showcase what you're capable of doing because if it's you, it's not the AI version of you. So for that reason, we just need to use these tools very carefully just to automate our work, yes, but not to use it as the final work, just to use it as the starting point. All right. Um, That would be my main suggestion. And from there will depend of the type of content that you want to do. If you want to generate scripts, if you want to generate video, if you want to generate images or audio, whatever, you can do it. But at the end of the day, the final work would be from you because it's your personal brand, right? So yeah.
Hallelujah to that. A very good connection, personal brand. And so, what are your couple of favorite tools that you use, AI favorite tools?
Honestly, I'm very basic. Yeah, because like I mentioned, there are a lot of tools right now, but I think I've been using the same tools since the first day that they just were launched. The first one is, of course, ChatGPT. It's like the first product that it kind of make the whole AI era to start. And I use ChatGPT for a lot of things. For example, when I want to develop a content about a specific topic, and I'm not sure how to communicate that topic because maybe it's a little complex. I use ChatGPT to help me to do it. I put a prompt like, hey, I have this topic, it's a little complex. I want to make a bit about this. Please help me to break down this topic in an easier way so my audience is able to understand it, right? And then ChatGPT generates me different things about how to communicate that in simple terms. Also, when it comes to something quite complex, I don't rely really 100% on chat. I use the content and then I go to Google and try to kind of find a match and see if the content that ChatGPT generated is 100% correct and it's not inventing or is hallucinating. So yeah, I also kind of use both sources, the regular internet and then ChatGPT. Maybe the other tool that I use, and actually this tool that I built is a video script AI generator. There are a lot of tools like that on the internet, but I wanted to build my own tool because I to learn how to do it, how to use a framework to do that, because I also wanted to develop a video about that. So I make this little tool and I am using it right now to generate the first version of my scripts. It's very cool because this tool takes the idea of your video, it searches the web for the technical content of that idea, especially if that idea is quite technical. And then from the searching that it did, it generates the first version of the video script, right? And then I just can copy and paste it on an editor and change it to my own needs. But yeah, that is also that I use a lot. Then regarding kind of visual things like, because yeah, in YouTube you have to create your thumbnails to put in the video. Honestly, I don't use a lot of AI to do that. At some point, I also use ChatGPT, but I didn't like the result. It was a little weird. But I also use ChatGPT to have a reference of how could be the thumbnail for this topic. For example, I put a topic, I put something like, hey, help me to generate a thumbnail for this topic. It generates something, is not very good to be honest, but it gives me a reference of how to then use a tool like Canvas, for example, to generate the final thumbnail by manually using my own ideas, of course. Um, but yeah, those are kind of the main tools that I use in my day-to-day as a creator. At some point, I also use Cloud. Just when I feel that chat is not working very well and it's not very intelligent, I go to Cloud and I basically use it for the same purposes. And then Cloud develops a very good job. But yeah, those are the tools that I use.
Nice. That sounded very interesting, the technical script, video script generator. If someone wants a link to that, can they message you and where can they message you for that?
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to reach out to me. I think the main one is LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, my email is on my YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, or my social networks are linked together. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll make sure to where we post this video, we'll make sure to add all your contact details on the bottom so people can reach out. Because yeah, that's awesome. So if you had to give some advice, what advice would you give to someone at the very start of their career who has no portfolio or network yet?
That is very good because I kind of had the same question with my students here at Current Temple. And the suggestion that I gave them is just to start making projects, right? The good thing about here, the current temple, that we offer them the possibility to develop different projects. Yeah, they also are able to do that in other institutions. But at some point, they feel like, okay, I developed this project. What do I do now, right? So my suggestion is to keep making projects of about anything, and especially if that project is very useful for you and maybe potentially for other people. If you find a problem that you can solve using code or using your skills, let's do it. It doesn't have to be very complex or something amazing. It could be very big, very small, very simple. Because of course, yeah, it's gonna be difficult to have some experience to get your first job if you don't have some work to showcase, right? So my main suggestion always is to develop projects, but not only develop projects, also showcase those projects, share them to the world, especially platforms like LinkedIn, right? You can create a LinkedIn account, you can make some connections with some people that you know, and then from there, you can start showcasing your project. You know, the whole thing about building in public, right? You can explain how you develop the project, all the process that you follow to develop it, how you hosted it so the public is able to access to it. You know, all those things that basically showcase your skills. I think that is very important, especially when you're just starting your career. And honestly, I really would like to have done the same when I started my career. Because yeah, I also started to make different projects in college, but those projects I only kept them for myself and my teammates, right? But I didn't show them to the world. Even though I also started to make different videos, but those videos were about just kind of basic things about Python, different things. But I think if I would have started to also showcase my projects a little bit more difficult that I developed to the world, maybe I would have even more opportunities back in the day, right? So yeah, my main suggestion is to start making projects about things you find very useful, problems you want to solve, and problems that you want to solve for other people, and then also showcase that work to the public, to the world. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. And so, for people who are career changers, who have something already, some past experiences, how could they translate those into a strong tech brand?
Yeah, I think that they even had an advantage because they already have some experience in their fields, and it could be about anything, even if it's not related to tech. And I think the challenging part here is how to find a way to translate that skill or those skills into your tech personal brand. But if I would be in that position, I would take that skill. Could be, I don't know, for example, if I was a chef and I really know how to cook a lot of amazing dishes, right? So I would take my experience and I would develop, and let's say that right now I want to be a software developer, right? And I would try to develop a project about cooking, a cooking recipe generator or a social network about different projects that actually had to do with my previous skill. And then I would start posting those projects into my social network, right? Or I don't know if another thing, if I was a lawyer, for example, and now I want to be in the field of analysis, for example. So yeah, same thing. I would take my knowledge, my skills as a lawyer, and I would develop a project, an initiative, an event, or anything that would apply analysis into legal things. Actually, there is a term called legal tech, which is the industry where you apply legal things. So yeah, I would do that because I already have the knowledge, right? I already have the experience, all the years or months of experience in that field. I just need to use technology as a tool to develop something that could help me to improve my work as a lawyer or as a chef or as anything, right? I think almost anything you can use technology and apply it to that field. And the very good thing about these people that is having this career change is that they already have that advantage, that knowledge because of their previous experience, right? So I think I would do that if I were in that position. And of course, I will share all that process, all that work to the world. And in that way, I will start building my personal brand.
Awesome. Great advice. I have given this advice to some people before, but a lot of people are a bit worried and hesitant to put themselves out there. What's your advice to
Yeah.
overcome that fear of self-promotion?
Yeah, I think I also have had the same experience with different people that they are really worried about showcasing their work and, putting in the public. I think right now we have a lot of ways to do that without actually just, I don't know, showing our faces or our voice. We can use different tools powered by AI as well to, I don't know, generate text, for example, generate audio, generate video. We can create an avatar of ourselves and just use that as kind of the interface of the world, right? Because at the end, all the knowledge or the content will be generated by you, right? You don't have to put you in front of a camera to generate that content. You can do it in private, of course. And then you can just use these tools to generate the kind of interface like audio or video to showcase that to the world. At least you feel a little bit more comfortable showcasing or putting yourself in a camera, for example. The other thing that I would recommend is to just start small, right? For example, if you're really afraid about creating a LinkedIn account or a YouTube account or any other social network account, you can just start by creating the account, of course, like any other account. Make some connections, especially on LinkedIn, connection with people that you know. Could be, for example, from your school, from your previous job. Make those connections. And from there, you can just start by posting texts about the things that you're working on. It doesn't matter if this is something small. It doesn't matter if you learn how to print hello world in Python. It's okay. You can showcase it. I don't think you have to care about what the other people has to say about that. You just need to post it, right? And let's see what happens. Because the worst thing that could happen is that no one actually sees that content, and that's it. But the best thing that could happen is a lot of things, right? A lot of opportunities, very amazing opportunities. So I would say to just start small, start showcasing simple things like this print hell wall or any other thing. And with time, hopefully, you will be more comfortable of posting more and more about the work that you have developed. But I think you just need to start, right? Um, and yeah, like I said, we have a lot of tools to do it without actually putting ourselves in a camera. You can just post text in LinkedIn, for example, but just start doing. So yeah,
Nice. So if there was one action this week that all the listeners could do to strengthen their personal brand or even start it, what one activity would you tell them to do?
I would say if they don't have an account on LinkedIn, create one. If they already have an account on LinkedIn and they haven't posted anything, post something. And like I said, it's something very simple. Could be anything, doesn't matter. But just post something, right? Because yeah, the worst thing is that no one actually is aware about that thing, and that's it. And that would be the first thing that I would do this week. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much for your insight. And we at Code and Temple have had the pleasure of working alongside Daniel for a very long time, and the students have just been ecstatic about working with Daniel, and we appreciate all the work that you put in throughout this time. I know right now you're moving on to greener grasses somewhere else, so we wish you best of luck, and thank you so much for all your input. And for all our listeners, I really hope you take some actionable steps here. And just like Danielle said, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid to take that first step. Stay consistent, find your niche, and create, experiment, think outside of the box. The worst thing that can happen, no one will see it. And that's it. And the best thing that can happen, like Danielle said, the opportunities are endless. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Decoded. And if you're a tech leader navigating the evolving world of AI and organizational design, or if you're someone looking to break into tech, change careers, upskill, or simply find the right job support, we're here to help. At Coding Temple, we specialize in talent pipeline advice and workforce upskilling, preparing people and teams for the future of work through hands-on training and our dedicated careers camp. Thanks again for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time as we explore more ways to thrive in a tech-driven world.